The reason I got into this telescope-making world is because I wanted to help make it possible for people to see this world. And that's why we made these user-friendly telescopes. They're not designed to entertain photographic plates. They're for entertaining soft, warm eyes. Because seeing things in photographs is a very different thing from seeing them with your eyes through a telescope.
Every summer, Dobson travels to parks and small towns. He stops wherever people gather, giving his talks and holding his star parties, preaching the joys of astronomy.
You see at all these places you go, there are so many people who are terribly interested in these things. And then you have to understand that the population of this Earth is several billion, and all those eyes are waiting to see, all those ears are waiting to hear, all those minds are eager to understand. And somebody's got this job to do.
In the span of Dobson's life, astronomy has dramatically changed our view of the universe. Not long ago, we knew of only one galaxy, our own, the Milky Way.
See, when I was a kid, the universe didn't look like this at all. We only knew that we had one galaxy, our own galaxy. Nobody talked about galaxies in those days. They were called spiral nebula, the Great Spiral Nebula and Andromeda, all that kind of stuff. All that's changed, and when Einstein came up with his gravitational theory, that's really when cosmology got going. And also because at the time we found out that there are galaxies outside of our own, and we wondered how far it goes. And so really the scientists took this broad view in the early part of this century, and that's running wild now.
At home in San Francisco, Dobson gives classes in telescope making at a nearby museum.
The class at the Academy of Sciences, they have a big enough mailing list so that they can get enough people together to run a class. And the class runs for 8 weeks.
Dobson is well known among amateur astronomers. The Dobsonian telescope design is world famous. The instruments are hardly high-tech, but they're easy to build and a joy to use.
Rough grinding is a caveman's job. That's what we do this week. Rough grinding is a caveman's job. Eat well, sleep well, and work like hell. But there's nothing about it that we don't know how to do, and there's no boo-boo that you can do in this class, which will be followed by a life of sorrow. The worst state you can possibly end up in is not having a telescope, and that's where you are now.
I want them to see the universe. As I said before, I want them to see the universe, because if they don't see what the universe looks like, they won't wonder about it. And if they don't wonder about it, they're dead. What's the use of somebody that doesn't wonder? It's the hallmark of our species, that we're continually wondering what's going on.
But the specialty of these things is that they move easily. They go wherever you push them, and they stay wherever you leave them. But they don't track things across the sky. They're not good for photography, no. If you want to do photography, well, in the first place, you've got a disease, because all the pictures have been taken by Lick Observatory, and all you have to do is go and buy them. You can't buy film for the price you can get the pictures. But nowadays, what they do is to make this kind of a mount anyway, even if they do want to do photography, and then they put this on a Ponce mount. Now, Ponce is a Frenchman, and he writes to me, and he apologizes from France, and he apologizes for redesigning the Dobsonian. Anyway, he thinks that's real funny. And what we're going to do is to...
When I joined the monastery, I was working in the atom bomb project, the Second World War. I was working for the University of California, the radiation lab. And in the monastery, I became keenly tied up in these cosmological problems, if you like to think. So I wanted to see what the universe looked like, and so I helped somebody make a telescope, and then through that telescope we saw the third quarter moon, and as soon as I saw that third quarter moon, it looked as if we were coming in for a landing. I couldn't believe that the moon would look like that. And I thought, my God, I mean, inside of me it said, hey, my God, everybody's got to see this.
Oh, now here's a polished one.
These people start with a raw hunk of glass, and then even with the unsilvered mirror, they look at the moon and they can see all those craters. They're flabbergasted. That's what gets everybody. I'm not interested in telescopes. I'm really not. And if I had to just sit around making telescopes for sale, I'd be long gone. I really am not interested at all. Now, you see all these people, the reason they're connected with me is because I stand for something, for some information about this universe. They're not interested in me. They're interested in the information, and they've never seen this information put in a package before. That's the fact. In there. All right. Keep going. Nothing's happening.
I'm turning it.
Alicia, your mirror is too deep in the hands and a little bit flat in the fingers.
Somebody sticks around when he feels that he's got something to do. You know, old people that don't feel that they have anything to do and they feel that their friends don't love them anymore, they die fast, okay? People who feel that they have something to do and they've got friends whom they care about, they don't die out like that. I'm one of those guys.
Watch out. Watch Davey, you get your head knocked out.
Get you out of the way, please.
Well, the song is an old thing. It's Shankara's, and Shankara is something like 800 AD or something like that. And his view is that behind this whole universe there's just one reality. Om Vishwam Darpana Drishyamananagari Tulyam Nijantar Gatam Paishyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivoda Bhutam Yata Nidraya Yah Sakshi Kurute Prabodha Samaye Svatmanameva Vyayam Tasmai Shri Gurutaye
On the big island of Hawaii is a dormant volcano, sacred to the Hawaiians. At an elevation of nearly 14,000 feet, the observatory on Mauna Kea is the highest in the world. At this elevation, minds grow fuzzy, muscles ache, and breath is short. But astronomers dream of observing at Mauna Kea, for here is where the answers to today's celestial mysteries may be found. To continue his work on dark matter, Tony Tyson has been granted another observing run.
This kind of research isn't very glamorous. It's a lot of hard work. The observing can go well sometimes, sometimes not. It's long hours, and the successes are occasional, but when they happen, it's fun. There'll be generations of researchers after me who will still be researching the dark matter problem. Basically, all we're trying to do is to provide some limits to how it clusters and where it is so that people can try to understand what it is. Okay, well, being optimistic, I'll put the tape on anyway. There is an aspect of being close to nature, of being alone with nature, in fact, that science has, not just astronomy, but any kind of scientific research.
The fundamental question that astronomers would like to answer is, what is dark matter? What is this stuff that does not shine? Planets do not emit light as stars do, so planets are a form of dark matter. But astronomers doubt that there could be enough planet-like objects to account for the amount of dark matter they believe exists.